Well, hello everyone, and welcome back. I'm in the parking lot of General Mariano Guadalupe Vallejo's house, and he was a Mexican military leader, politician, landowner who played a key role in California's transition from Mexican to American rule. As the commandant of the northern frontier of Alta California, he helped establish Mexican authority in the region and founded the city of Sonoma. And there's a video of me walking around Sonoma Square, if you're curious about that. Though initially resistant to American expansion, Vallejo later supported California's sharehood after the U.S. takeover in 1846. He was a wealthy rancher but lost most of his land due to legal battles. Today, he is remembered as a key historical figure in California's early history. So we are going to go check out his house. And that's where I am right now. So let's go check out General Vallejo's house. See what kind of lifestyle he had. Well, first of all, look at the land that his house is on. Quite beautiful, I must say. Some artifacts in the main entrance here. Nice coach. This is his coach. Looks pretty fancy to me, huh? Rolls Royce at the time. It was ordered from France in 1850. So this is Vallejo in various stages of his life.
Yeah, from the time he's young to when he's an older man.
Yeah. And the home is directly across here. Look at the woodwork on it. Very nice. Okay, I got examples of his living quarters. This must be the entertainment room or the smoking bar. This looks like an original mirror. That's a nice mirror, huh? Details here. And this is the dining area where family would gather. The turkey looks pretty dusty. This is how the wealthy lived back then. Not bad, huh? Another angle. And a library or study. Check out the staircase. You would retire. Spiral staircase. A nice view here. Look at that bed. That's pretty nice, huh? And the child's bed and then the toilet of the time. Fancy toilet of the time. You think about the time in the mid to late 1800s. This was fancy living. And this is the child's room. With a dollhouse. There's a painting on the wall there. And some shoes on the tiny little bed. Now, I imagine this is the wife's room. I do believe back in those days that they slept separately. Pretty sure. I'm not positive though. And another room with a nice mirror. Some oil paintings there. Some good detail. So this is the other side of the house. I walked through it, came out. There's another garden out here. And this is a swan fountain. That's what they say on it. For obvious reasons. Not exactly working right now. And this small building was built in 1854 and originally stood some 50 feet to the rear of its present location to serve as a retreat for Vallejo's families and guests. So if they need some alone time, they can get out of here, or as a guest house. But it was 50 feet farther back. Not sure why they moved it. This would have been the life, huh, back then. That butterfly just landed. And there he goes. And then there's a rose garden, which is not happening right now. A little too early in the year. And a squirrel. And then this other building here is the kitchen. So the kitchen is separate. There's a little example of what the kitchen life would have been like. And I imagine this right here was where the buggy would come in to pick them up. Uber of the time, you know. Another example of a kitchen. Let's see what time it is here. It's almost 3 o'clock. So I'm not mistaken. Not positive how to read this, but if this is 12 and this is 1 and that's 2 and that's 3, but that doesn't seem right. If that was 3, then it's pretty accurate, but I don't know totally how to read them. So the ranger gave me this little thing to read. The reservoir and stone masonry reservoir was constructed in the early 1850s to collect water from the natural artesian springs in the hills above. It was the existence of these springs that originally convinced General Vallejo to purchase the land that was to become his home and farm for 38 years. So pretty cool. This is built in 1850, so this is 170 years old. Check out the turtle swimming towards us. He's coming to say hi. There's some right there too. I wonder if they're used to being fed. Kind of look like they are, huh? He's just got his little head peeking out. And he went under. It also says here that during the 1870s, General Vallejo developed the Sonoma Water Works to supplement his income and supply needed water to local residents. So this guy was a true entrepreneur. And all these, man, this pond is, or reservoir, this reservoir is full of turtles. And if I knew there would be some, I have some crackers in my car I could have brought. I got saltine crackers and they would have loved them. Yeah, they're definitely used to being fed. Look at these guys. Hey, hey, you think you can keep down something for me? Did you bring anything over? Well, unfortunately I didn't, because I didn't know you were going to be here. Hey, come on, man. kick the turtle down some food, bro. There are a few roses blooming. These peachy color ones. They smell nice too. But there are lots of turtles in this pond. I keep calling it a pond, but it's more of it's technically a reservoir, not a pond. So you can come here for your picnic lunch and enjoy a nice picnic. But be aware that rattlesnakes are here. It's not quite hot enough right now. They're not going to be out slithering around. They're going to be underground, but soon it'll be hot and you want to watch out for rattlesnakes. In my lifetime living in the Bay Area, I've seen 3 or 4 rattlesnakes. Never in a dangerous situation. I was hiking and I saw one go across the path. 2 instances were dangerous. One was on Mount Tam in Mill Valley. We used to ride our bicycles down Mount Tam, and we started out hitchhiking, but then later on some of our friends got licenses, so we had convinced one of them to give us a ride on with his bike rack on his car all the way to the top of the mountain. And we did that once, and he parked, and back then he had a brown Volkswagen Rabbit. I think it was a 1974 Rabbit. And he's taken the bikes off the back, and right behind him was, like, literally, I'm gonna say 3 feet away from his leg, was a rattlesnake coiled up and ready to strike. And I yelled at him. His name was Freddie. I'm all, Freddie, look out, rattlesnake! And he jumped. And he jumped in the right direction, not towards the snake. The other time, I had a dog, and unfortunately he would have died because we were hiking up on Mount Tam, and this dog was a husky, and he would chase anything he saw moving. And he saw something slither across the road, and it was a rattlesnake, and he ran towards us, away from us, and he ran like 50 yards away, and we went taking off yelling at him to come back. And then as we got closer, we saw the snake, and we yelled at him like as loud as we could, and he must have understood because the snake was coiled up and rattling and ready to hit him in the nose. And he would have been killed that day because there's no way he would have survived that bite way up on a mountain, and we couldn't carry him all the way down to even get any kind of help, so that would have really sucked. So I'm glad he listened to us that day. So the rattlesnake stories that I have are basically those. Anyway, back to Vallejo's house. This is above the reservoir, and I'm not really sure what it does. Hermitage. Napoleon, the youngest of sons of General Vallejo, moved into his new quarters in 1865 at the age of 15, where he surrounded himself with objects of his great love, the outdoors. So this is his studio apartment before leaving home. Sounds like General Vallejo is a nice guy building his son this private little house. But look at the view. His son actually had the best view of all, way up here. And I wonder how many times they went swimming in this reservoir. I bet many times. If you could take a time machine, life was a little simpler there then, but also a lot of modern things weren't around. You know, you didn't have the vaccines that were around today. So if you got sick back then, you a lot of times died for your sickness. You had scarlet fever, you had tuberculosis, you had, you know, a myriad of different things. If you got a bladder infection as a woman, it could kill you. If you got bronchitis, bacterial infection in your throat, all those infections, if your body couldn't fight them off, that was it. So it was a simpler life, but a little scarier. And if you're lucky enough to live into your 70s or 80s, that means you were a lucky person back then. But very interesting. This would have been the wealthy person's estate in Northern California 170 years ago. So this little girl got some turtle food. I was right. They are trained. And they do like turtle food, which I think is just dog food. What is this huge yellow fruit? A pomelo and a sweet orange equals a grapefruit? Or a pomelo and a mandarin orange equals a sweet orange? A bitter orange and a citron equals a lemon. Wow. That's crazy. But nice property, huh? That building looks different than everything else, so who knows? I bet there's a lot of nature activity here at night. So I just realized I have this sign here, this whole literature telling me what this is. The Chalet Visitor Center, this Tudor-style structure called the Chalet, was storage house and gantry. Building components were imported from Europe during the Gold Rush era, as materials and constructions were not available. That's why it kind of looks European, I guess. A couple pictures here back in the day. Reservoir would have been up there. Here's a picture of the turtle reservoir from 1887. Well, everyone, thank you for coming along with me today at General Vallejo's house or mansion back in the day. Pretty nice spread here, and I would venture to say if this was for sale in modern times, it would be millions and millions of dollars. This is plot of land and all these buildings on it. So if you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications, you'll be notified of my next video. Leave a comment, and I'll see you on my next video. All right, peace.